Hello, my name is Caitlin Cunningham. My mission statement is through working in the criminal justice system, I will help others in a crisis and advocate for a more reformative incarceration process rather than a punitive. So my overview of accomplishments. Obviously in COVID, we've all been struggling and things aren't exactly how they would be. So these are still what I have listed for this semester. So I completed my first season of softball. Also completed my first semester of freshman year. And I experienced independence for living on my own for the first time, being away from my parents and being completely dependent and having responsibilities of my own and keeping track of my own time management. I think that's a really big and important part in my leadership process, is having this own sense of holding myself accountable. And I also will be voting for the first time, and I think that's very important to have my voice heard, which is an important part of leadership in itself. So my leadership goals is to create a more inclusive and welcoming environment around me, improve in public speaking through interaction of both school and softball. I think will help in both scenarios. School, obviously, you get more interaction with in-person classes, and hopefully that will start up again soon. And softball, I'm already getting so much more improving in saying my opinion and voicing my ideas. And my third goal is to get a degree in criminal justice and pursue a career in the field. And I don't exactly know what I want to do, and I'm really hoping that I can find out soon. For areas of improvement, I'd like to increase confidence, public speaking, and hearing out others' differing opinions, and starting to consider maybe changing the way I think, or if I find a good idea that another has, contribute to my own thoughts and beliefs. And expressing gratitude more often. I think we often forget to say verbally our gratitude to someone and how you feel about someone, or even small things, just obviously the please and thank yous, but I think we often forget that, to actually tell someone, even if you think they know already. So some examples of leadership. In my other classes, I've had a lot of group projects also. And I took the liberty to start group chats or try to organize. Obviously, everyone's a little shy at first when communicating in a group of random people, but taking action and forming group chats and trying to organize who's doing what part. I've been doing a lot more lately thanks to this class and learning about different leadership skills. So also in this class especially, there's so many group discussions and activities where you can display your leadership skills and hearing others out. And I also said that softball involves a lot of leadership skills as being part. It's all about having relationships and connections with softball, and everyone's very close-knit. And having leadership skills and having those leaders on the team really make a good team. And softball, I would say, is just a mini version of almost like a society or group where you need some leaders and some followers in order for a common agenda and being the best team or group you can possibly can. So my leadership action plan is to continue my undergrad research in criminology, work up to getting my degree, complete my 4 years of collegiate softball, and create more meaningful relationships with those around me. Leadership theories. So the definition of leadership that I chose is a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards the achievement of a common goal. And those that... Those that stuck with me, I would say, is the reciprocal theory, which is a relational process. It's all based on relationships and almost like a shared process. And it's also the followership is a huge part, not only the leaders, but the followership. In order to have this common agenda and this common goal to meet it is so important. I think that's a great definition or theory of leadership. And also I liked the behavioral theory and its consideration for both people and production. So it's not only how someone feels, but also how they do it and their behavior around it, I'd say, in order so and having the structure being effective. So it will both balance how someone feels and how it how to produce for a common agenda also. Ethics and leadership. So I think that you can separate the two for ethics and leadership. And ethics, I'd say, is basically morals and what you think is right. And I think you can separate it because there's been many leaders who have not had ethics, I'd say, and still are in a leadership position and role. But I think when you combine the two of both ethics and leadership, then you can really, that's when you get a good leadership or a good group instead of toxic. So for my ethics, I put tolerance for all values and beliefs, standing up for what I think is right, creating an understanding and safe environment, promoting more inclusion. So my Strength Finder results was orange, which the top category is described as charming, spontaneous, impactful, optimistic, and bold. And I do agree with this. I think I used to really struggle with these ideas right here. But lately I think I've been getting more involved and been very optimistic and bold. And orange is a lot about being outgoing, which haven't been the most. I've been pretty introverted all my life, but I think in college it's really bringing out the outgoing, the charming, spontaneous, impactful, and bold in me. And especially during my leadership skills, I think I am a lot more outgoing when I am put in a role of leadership. I feel almost I have to be in order to get the job done. And being impactful is very important once being in that role of leadership and having an impact on others in order for them to look up to you or follow you, per se. So my review of my goals is making sure everyone feels welcome and included around me, socializing more and getting involved in school events with my team, creating a plan for the rest of my college career, and figuring out exactly what I want to do afterwards. I really want to pinpoint what I want to be doing after my college, my undergrad, because then I could ultimately create this plan around it and have it figured out instead of going in as a guessing game almost. And there are my references. Thanks so much for watching.